And in the next sutta is SD 48.6, the Atthaka Maranasati Sutta 2, or Dutiya Atthaka Maranasati Sutta, the second eighth discourse on the mindfulness of death, Anguttara 8.74, the book of eights, Sutta number 74. The theme here is that the mindfulness of death, night and day, facilitates awakening. So here we see the regularity of the practice. Now, here, as the sutta title tells us, Atthaka, there are 8 things to consider. 8 ways of practicing mindfulness of death. There is another sutta which is called the Chakka Maranasati Sutta 2, the second sixth discourse on the mindfulness of death, A 6.20. So there are only 6 topics, there are 6 stages. Only the first 6 given here. So you can take this sutta as an expansion of that sutta. Now let us go straight into the sutta, the second 8th discourse on the mindfulness of death, A 8.74, starting on page 120. At one time the Blessed One was staying in the brick house at Nadika or Nyatika, so it's the same locale as the previous sutta, which is the Atthaka Maranasati Sutta 1. Then the Blessed One addressed the monks, Bhikshus, Bhante. The monks replied to the Blessed One in accent. Bhikshus, the mindfulness of death, when cultivated, grown, is of great fruit, great benefit, plunging into nirvana, ending in nirvana. How, Bhikshus, is the mindfulness of death when cultivated, grown, of great fruit, great benefits, plunging into nirvana, ending in nirvana? Here, Bhikshus, so we have different practices here I've highlighted by putting a bit of a subheader there. So we have night reflection here, right? So you have day reflection. These are the 2 main ones, and then there is self-review. Okay, so this is a very useful teaching for us to do our daily practice, even if we do not reflect on death. Section 4, the Buddha continues and says, how, Bhikshus, is the mindfulness of death when cultivated, grown, of great fruit, great benefit, plunging into nirvana, ending in nirvana? Here, Bhikshus, when day has ended and night has fallen, the monk reflects thus: many are the causes of or conditions for my death. A snake could sting me, or a scorpion could sting me. A centipede could sting me. Okay, so this is the first set of dangers. I could be hurt by some poisonous insect or some kind of bug, if you like. Because you must remember, these were forest monks. Of course, if we live in a safe, urban kind of place, there are other considerations. So this is one reflection which is useful when we go into, say, some country retreat and so on. So this is a good reflection then. Otherwise, wherever you live, there are other considerations, other reflections you can use. So here, this man reflects. He says, well, a snake, a scorpion, or a centipede could sting me and I could die. Then the refrain is, that would be the death of me. This would be an obstacle for me. So this reflection basically is saying, if I were to die from any cause, then my practice will be affected. Then we come to the next. The next section is causes of death, number 2 to number 8. So this monk reflects. The Buddha tells the monk to reflect next. I might stumble and fall. Right? So here again, if you are living in the forest, just to stumble and fall in the dark can be quite dangerous. My food might not agree with me. Right? We could die because of taking a wrong kind of food, for example, especially in those days. But today we also suffer from food poisoning, for example. Number 4, my bile might act up. Okay, here we have a bit of traditional medicine. Here I may fall sick because of a liver problem. The bile comes from the liver. Here we can say it's a general term for liver problems. 5, my phlegm might act up. So here we see again the ancient Buddhists. They are much aware of traditional medicine in India. In fact, traditional medicine had their roots in Buddhist monastic medicine, and this is what we're talking about. My phlegm might act up. So phlegm here refers to problem of the lungs. Problem number 6, sharp winds in me may act up. So it could be indigestion, some kind of internal pain. Humans might attack me. Number 8, non-humans might attack me. Of course, here, non-humans, in those days, they believe in demons and spirits. Today, non-human, you can take it quite literally, other beings which are not human, maybe some fierce animals and so on. So in other words, these are 8 causes of death. So then the refrain, the monk or the practitioner reflects any of this. That would be the death of me, or this would be an obstacle for me. Right? So if we fall sick, it's difficult to meditate. But I know friends who, even though when they have fallen sick, they still continue practicing, and they reflect on their bodily pains and so on. It's difficult, but they manage somehow. So this is the first reflection on the possibilities of the causes of death. Of course, these are examples well known in the Buddha's time. For our own time, we can of course reflect in many ways. Many things can happen. In certain places, you have earthquakes. In Thailand, a tsunami suddenly happens, and so on. Or we can just reflect. Death may come in different forms, in surprising forms even. It just comes like that. We wouldn't even know what happened to us. So next is self-review. Now, this is a very important practice here. This talks about death in the night. Bhikshus, it should be reflected by this monk thus: are there in me bad, unwholesome states that are unabandoned, that would be an obstacle should I die in the night? If Bhikshus Amma, reflecting in this way, knows thus there are in me wholesome states that have not been abandoned, that would be an obstacle should I die in the night. So this is a very important reflection to remember in the night. Before turning in, before going to sleep, so we spend a quiet moment, either before the meditation, after meditation, if you like, and say, okay, how is my mind? Am I thinking of anything unwholesome, unhappy? Let me clear all this. Doing loving kindness meditation is very helpful here. So if there are any negative states, clear that away, so sleep happily. So this is connected with this teaching regarding sleeping happily. Then bhikshus, that monks should work on the abandoning of just those bad, unwholesome states with extraordinary enthusiasm and effort and industry and great perseverance and relentlessness and mindfulness and clear comprehension. Notice the string of very strong words here. Extraordinary enthusiasm, effort, and industry, and great perseverance, and relentlessness. These are all similar words showing effort. Then the next keyword is mindfulness and clear comprehension, knowing what you're doing and mindfully doing it. Then the Buddha gives a very powerful figure of speech to blade the burning head. Bhikshus, just as one whose turban is ablaze or whose head is ablaze, would act with extraordinary enthusiasm and effort and industry and great perseverance and relentlessness and mindfulness and clear comprehension to put out the fire on that turban, on that head. So imagine, if you don't wear a turban and your clothes are on fire, you at once try to put the fire out. So that's the way we should treat this reflection. Spend quiet time and ask ourselves, how am I feeling now? What are my thoughts now? Have I done anything wrong this day, earlier on? If I have, then let me clear those thoughts away. Loving kindness is a very good practice. Then you sleep happily. Now comes the positive self-review, section 11. If bhikshus among reflecting in this way knows thus, there are no bad, unwholesome states in me that are unabandoned, there would be an obstacle should I die in the night. Then bhikshus, he should dwell in that very zest and joy, training night and day in wholesome states. So, if you say, well, I'm happy, I'm not thinking of anything negative, then you feel the joy, enjoy it, sleep happily. Section 13. Here bhikshus, when night has ended and day has dawned, among reflects thus, many other causes of my death. A snake could sting me and so on, just the way we did earlier, and different kinds of the other 8 conditions mentioned earlier. Let me just read through quickly to help us remember. A snake could sting me, a scorpion could sting me, a centipede could sting me. I might stumble and fall, my food might not agree with me, my bile might act up, my phlegm might act up, sharp winds in me might act up, humans might attack me, non-humans might attack me. So these are causes of death. Then comes a second review in the day. So this is a new set, right? When we awake in the morning. Section 15. Bhikshus, it should be reflected by the monk thus. Are there in me bad, unwholesome states that are unabandoned, that would be an obstacle should I die in the day? If bhikshus among reflecting in this way knows that there are bad, unwholesome states that have not been abandoned, so then he should clear his mind again, maybe do loving kindness and so on. So this is starting the day. When you get up in the morning, perhaps the very first thing you do, you get up and then ask yourself, okay, how is my state now? Usually this would be easier. You get up in the morning, you have a good sleep, but sometimes we can have bad dreams. So this is where we reflect. Did I have any bad dreams? Right? So any negative thoughts? So then we act accordingly. And again, the Buddha gives the parable of the burning head, how to show the urgency of such a practice. This practice must be done with all earnestness, urgency, and diligence. And then finally, the Buddha says, well, if bhikshus among reflecting in this way knows thus, there are no bad, unwholesome states in me that are unabandoned, there would be an obstacle should I die in the day. Then bhikshus should dwell in that very zest and joy, training night and day in wholesome states. Right? So be joyful, be aware of the joy, celebrate the joy, and practice. Use the joy as the energy for your practice. So there you are. We have 2 kind of practices on death, on mindfulness of death. One in the night and one for the day. And it's not just reflection on death, it's also an examination of your conscience. examining yourself. How is my mental state now? What are my thoughts? What are my feelings? If they are negative, let me deal with them. If there are no negative states, then let me rejoice in those states and practice the Dharma. So this is a very beautiful teaching to remind us to practice, which we should do daily or twice a day, in fact. And let us now have a closing reflection. Reflecting on impermanence, we can say that life is but a moment as we breathe in and out. So we have to reflect in that way, how this breath may suddenly stop. And we should not take for granted that love is always there. So this should remind us to keep our mind wholesome, reflecting on impermanence, and be present to the reality that is right before us. Reflecting in this way is wonderful good karma. By the power of such karma, may we be blessed with courage and wisdom to aspire to attain stream winning in this life itself. By the same token, by the power of the three jewels, let us cultivate our loving kindness to all our loved ones and those who have been kind to us. May they be well and happy. And to those who are practicing the Dharma, may they attain awakening in this life itself. And to those who are struggling to find the truth, those who are lost and those who are seeking the true teaching, may they too find true happiness and awaken in the Dharma in this life itself. May all beings be well and happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.